Well, welcome, troop. Let's recite the Quilters Pledge. Please repeat after me. I promise to get her done while having fun. When holding scissors, I will not run. I won't worry about quilting laws. So when I show my work, I won't point out the flaws. Very good. If you need to take that home to memorize it, I have cards for you. Hey, I was afraid you'd be rusty, but you did excellent. All right. Before our report on the winter retreat and our chance to vote on viewers' choice ballots for our quilt challenge, can you hold up the viewers' choice ribbon?
Oh my.
I know you all want to vote, okay? We have 30 quilts to vote on, so we have a lot to get through. First of all, we have some other business to review before we do that. I hope you all are wearing your name tags. Yeah. All right. Now, there are a few things. This is a big group. In order to have the opportunity to meet others and know who they are in our group, there are some things to add to our uniforms. And the first thing is this beautiful yellow, okay, the running with silver shears neckerchief. The motto is, time is on the run, today is a day to get her done. And you may sign up to order your bandana on this clipboard. Now the yellow bandanas, they are for people who made a quilt before rotary cutters were invented. Very good. So now you know, if you see somebody in the troop wearing this yellow bandana, they have many, many, many years of experience and can share their sage advice if you're stuck on something. Also, now, there are a few of our troop members who are excellent at restoring and repairing quilts. So we are asking them to please wear this special vest so we know that they are expert mending technicians. And finally, I'm going to ask 4 of our special troop members to come up to the front. Nora, Betty, Judy, and Adele. Now these ladies are most amazing because they do not have UFOs. Okay, I need your help now. In order to find them in the group, we have these beautiful red capes. And you can find these fabulous finishers and ask them how they do it. Now, I did talk with some of these ladies and I found out that if they send a quilt top out of their home to be quilted, it's not a UFO for them anymore until it comes back to be bound. You may be seated. Thank you, ladies. Now, the next bit of business is our Send a Quilter to Beach Camp fundraising. Okay. It has begun for our big trip to sunny Florida to attend the Pink Flamingo Quilters Retreat Bungalow located right on the water. And you'll notice our beautiful model surrounded by the triptych quilts. Now, I've just gotten a report from our fundraising committee. Our baked goods, fat quarters, orphan blocks, mending, and cookbooks for sale booth was set up in our local Walmart parking lot last weekend. We were surprised by the large number of law enforcement officers surrounding our table. We thought they were interested in the bake sale or needed some mending done. But finally we realized there was a problem with our sign. It was damaged by wind and being taken in and out of the van. We taped it the best we could, but we need a new sign as soon as possible, before next weekend. Selling baked fat orphan men. So please sign up here to volunteer to make the new sign for our fundraising. All right, thank you, ladies. Okay. Also, we are depending on each and every one of you to sell a lot of cookbooks and do a lot of mending to reach our beach retreat funding goals. Next month, we start sign-ups for the Quilters Wild Wingding. As usual, it's taking place in the month of April in Udoka, Texas. This afternoon, I got a letter from the Wingding officials. Thank you for your interest in the Quilters Wild Wingding. The committee has made a few updates to one of our most popular contests, the Scrap Pool Grab. As usual, for every extra large bag of scraps, you may enter one contestant. Did you see we have 3 big bags of scraps? Okay. As each color is announced, contestants will put scraps of that color into their official clear collection bag. This fabulous frenzy will continue until all the scraps have been grabbed. There are a few changes this year to avoid some of the terrible cheating that happened in the past. To avoid the sudden growth of goiters, humpbacks, and pregnancies, all contestants will wear yoga pants and sports bras. Any contestant who suddenly develops a big booty, larger bust, or any other fat quarter will be disqualified and their scraps returned to the pool. To keep hair pulling, scratching, and elbowing to a minimum, the Wingding Committee is pleased to announce that we have hired a professional referee, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Okay. Let's just pause right here. We've collected enough scraps to enter 3 people. Please sign up here if you're going to go into the Scrap Pool Grab. I don't know about those yoga pants. Well, we're quilters, not quitters. Right. Okay. If no one signs up because of the yoga pants requirement, we need to find another way to use up these scraps. So, please write your scrap ideas on this clipboard and be nice. Now let's go back to the letter. The Charity Quilt Blitz is open to all quilters, be they long arm, mid arm, short arm, or hand arm. Craftsmanship counts as well as speed. As usual, the winning team will take home the trophy for a year of bragging rights. Good luck, Quilters, and thank you for your interest in the Quilters Wild Wingding. Happy sewing. Now, we have held this trophy for 3 years. And last year it was a close shave because we lost a few points on flared borders. So to avoid that problem, I've come up with some educational posters. First place effort. You lay the top out flat, measure it in at least 3 places, add up all those measurements, then divide by the number of times you measured. Okay? Then you cut your borders to that length and pin them on. Then you sew and press, and then you go in the other direction for the other borders. Okay? And it also helps to use a walking foot or an even feed foot. Now, second place effort. Lay the quilt top out flat, lay your border down the middle, and cut it to that length. Why? Every time you handle that quilt top, you're pulling on the corners. The middle is smaller. Okay. Then, after you've cut your border, pin it on, sew it and press it, and turn and do the other way. Finally, the happy place method. You've decided, I'm not cutting borders. That's all well and good, but probably there are about 5,000 seams around the edge of that quilt. So please, stitch a little stay stitch 1/8 of an inch all the way around, and those seams will not pull open. That also applies if you have a lot of bias edges on the edges. For instance, if you did paper piecing or something like that. So I hope you found these educational posters helpful. Thank you. All right. Let's see. All right. Oh, our last letter is from Ken Burns. Dear Get Her Done Quilters, your enthusiasm about my quilt collection is heartwarming. However, I will not be able to join your quilting troupe at this time. Furthermore, I cannot promise to make a documentary about quilts. Thank you for your interest, but please stop sending pleading letters, baked goods, and quilt blocks. Sincerely yours, Ken Burns. Well, that's pretty disappointing. All right. Okay, now for a review of our winter retreat at Camp Scene So-and-So. There were at least 50 quilters in attendance, including our celebrity guest. Everyone had a sewing station and a design wall in the big cabin, which had a kitchen off the main room. The troupe provided irons and a 100-gallon vat of heavy-duty starch. People bunked in satellite cabins and found them cozy, especially after chopping wood for the fireplace. The main complaint was that the outhouses were chilly and sometimes had big spiders. Furthermore, I must apologize. It did take a while to reach all the bunkhouses after the blizzard. Next year, we'll have more than one shovel. A big thank you to everyone who brought food to share. It was all really delicious. However, in the future, perhaps we should skip anything with barbecue sauce. It's proved impossible to get out of fabric. Also, please note, even though everyone says they're on a diet, absolutely no one ate the celery sticks. On the first night, there was a special show and tell of first quilts, and we were all surprised when tempers flared during this activity. It was decided the matter would be settled this evening with a vote from the membership at large. Sunbonnet Sue declared she made her first quilt at the age of 6, and we all agreed that what she had was 3 layers sewn together, but not everyone agreed it was a quilt. So those of you who agree that a sit-upon is a quilt, say aye. Aye. And opposed, say nay. Nay. Ooh, the nays have it. Thank you for voting. You know, we all had a lot of fun, but there was a series of unfortunate events that occurred while we were sewing at a fevered pitch. As you know, Pedal to the Metal Patty loves the 1600 quilt pattern because there are no matching seams. This year she wanted to make a California King of 5200. Well, early in the process she became so tangled in the strips we didn't realize she was in serious distress until she stomped out SOS. Everyone rushed to her rescue, and during the kerfuffle our guest quilter fell into the vat of starch. I hope one of you has a very large walk-in shower because we need to get our guest and at least 2 others under the water at once to rinse out the starch. There'll be too many questions if we try to do this at the Y. Please sign up here for the large walk-in shower. And, well, I'm going to have you sign up here to help get the starch out of our guest quilter. We've got to get this done soon. They're expecting him at the Quilters Wild Wingding. Okay. On a blizzard-free evening, we had a campfire and made s'mores. And that quilt depicts the s'more fun we had. I suggested a few campfire songs, but everyone ran back inside, refreshed and ready to sew again. Around midnight, I noticed 3 quilters who had been struggling all day with a gift quilt. They were gathered around the campfire singing a hymn. And their prayer really touched my heart, and I'd like to share it with you now. So please bow your heads for the quilters' prayer. Oh Lord, won't you stop me from saying dumb things? I promised a couple about to exchange rings, a quilt of their choosing for all their sweet dreams. The pattern and fabric make me want to scream. The bed is enormous, a California King. I'm not keen to make it with 20,000 seams, but I'll keep my promise and finish that thing. Oh Lord, won't you stop me from saying dumb things? Remember that gift-giving lesson? Let the quilter pick the quilt. Finally, there are some lost and found items to be returned. From all around the camp, there were foot pedals, extension cords, and telephone chargers. Okay. Cabin 1, your blazer, if you just please come for that. Cabin 2, your ride. Cabin 3, please don't bring your pets. It took me a long time to gather up all 7 mice. Well, they got out again. Oh, well. And, well, now finally, I couldn't believe it. I found a quilt in a garbage bag under a cot. And, well, first of all, please never store a quilt in a garbage bag because it might get thrown out accidentally. So let's just take a look here. You need a couple of pulls. Make sure I get it just right. This is the way. Clearly, this is a very innovative way to put a t-shirt together. Maybe our EMS team will have some suggestions if this wasn't the look you were going for. Okay, well, maybe the other side. Let's see the other side.